Hello everybody and welcome to the channel. Our first video we spoke about the parts of a reel and what they did. The second video we did was how to put the line on the spool, and the way we did it reduced line twist. This one here, the third one, we're going to put everything together. I'm going to add on a lure or a spinner, and I'm also going to put on a thing called an antikink vane. These are things we used approximately 50 years ago. I'm sure they're still available now. But I'm just showing you this for the benefit of people starting off in your spinning journey. The rod and reel I'm using is a little 7-foot rod, small, maybe it's a 3,000 size reel. It's got 10 pounds breaking strain line on it. Obviously if you're fishing for salmon or a pike, you'd go maybe a 9 or a 10-foot rod, casting weight up to 50 grams, so there's a bit more backbone in the rod. And if you're sea fishing, you may want something like a 10-foot spinning rod that will cast 4 ounces of weight, which is maybe 120 grams. So it's a bigger system. But once you know how to spin for one species, you can spin for them all. The only thing that changes is the rod and reel that you use. Now, so basically, this is a little 7-foot rod. It's 2 pieces. Its casting weight is 10 to 30 grams. So the maximum you could use would be 30 grams on this rod. If you put a 40-gram lure on this to cast, it will probably break the rod. So that's why you would never do that. And that's always something you should be aware of. Don't cast above the casting weight, as in the lure size that is. So an optimal size for this, I'd say, would be 15-20 grams. All right. So I'm just going to put on the reel here. Now the reel goes on the reel seat, just like that. So just screw this part on here, like that. As I said, the line is already on the reel, so we screw that on there. And the next thing we do is we take the line and put it through the rod rings. But before we do that, we have to free the line so that it will come off the spool easily enough. So we have to lift back that bail arm. And now we're going to take the line and feed it through the rod rings, all right? And we're going to do that just now, so I'm going to pop it through here. So there's one. I needed my glasses for this because I wouldn't be able to see it. So I'd have to get stronger glasses. So this just goes up through the rod rings, and the first thing we're going to do then is we're going to put on a thing called an antikink vane, and I'm going to show you what that is. All right. And I said this rod is suitable for spinning for trout, as I said, so it's ideal for that. Now I have the reel seat set there, so or the reel drag set there. So the first thing I'm going to do is put on a thing called an antikink vane, which is this thing. All right. So I'm going to show you this. You see it there? It's a piece of plastic with a piece of brass wire going through it and a swivel at the end. Now it's important that the swivel is always to the lure, all right, and the piece that has no swivel, that goes to the rod. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to attach this to the swivel part, and then I'm going to cut maybe a foot off and then put the lure at the end of it. All right, so before I do that, I'm going to do a half tucked blood knot, which is one of these guys. You spin that around there. I'm going to show you how to do that actually. You know what, I'll do it now. I'll just patch it into this video. I'm going to draw it, so I'll patch it in here. But now, there we go. Hi folks. Okay, so I'm just adding the clinch knot to this video, and also the half tucked blood knot. Now they're very similar in the way they're put together, but I'm going to do the clinch knot first. This is the most popular one, in fairness. Some people call the half tucked blood knot what I'm about to do, but I'm going to show you the difference between the two. So the clinch knot, you have your swivel. You can see here there's a swivel on top of this lure. This is a large size lure, so I can show you what I'm doing. So, and I'm going to use a bit of thicker line just to make it more visible for you. But here's your swivel. So the clinch knot, you take your line from the rod and you bring it down, you put it through the eye of the swivel, you wrap it around about 5 or 6 times, all right, and then you run it through the loop made by the line. That's all it is. Okay, that's the clinch knot. You wet it and you pull very gently because the friction burns. If you pull it too tight, the friction will burn the line and weaken it. So you wet it, you pull it gently. Okay, the half tucked blood knot, very, very same. It begins the same way. So you take your line from the rod, you wrap it around, you run it through the swivel, you wrap it around itself about 5 or 6 times again. You put it through the loop again, but this time you pull it through the bigger loop, and that is the half tucked blood knot. All right, now I'm going to show you how to do the clinch knot, which is my favorite, and I use it all the time. So very simply, you put the line through here, through the swivel, and then you wrap it around about 5 or 6 times. So I'm hoping I can show that for you there. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then you put it through the loop made by the line itself. You see there? I'm going to put it up like this, and you run it through there. Now, of course, there we go. Pull it out like that, so it looks like that, and very gently you pull it. Now, this is not monofill, but you would pull it very gently, and it locks in on top of each other, and that's basically it. That's your clinch knot, and then you just trim it. Job done. That's it. All right. Back again. We tighten that. I now am going to trim off the little excess bit, or the tag sticking off there. So we want it nice and tight. Hopefully I'm in the right position there. So it looks like that, okay? So we have the swivel going to the rod. Now we're going to come up about a foot and we're going to cut it there again, all right? And what we're going to do then is we're going to add, oopsie daisies, I got cut there now. So we're going to add that to the other side of the antikink vane, all right? So we're going to pop that on here. Same thing again. We're going to go around about 5 or 6 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all right? We're going to pop that through there. It's the same knot, it's a half tuck blood knot. Pop it through there gently, pull tight, wet it. There we go, and that's what it looks like, all right? And we're going to trim that once again, just here. Catch a piece of line, put it in my pocket, very good. So that's what it looks like right there, all right? Just cut my ear, and that's okay. So the swivel part is going to the lure, as I said. That's very important because that's how it works. So we're using a Tasmanian devil, as I said. That's this little guy. So we're going to pop that line through that. So the line goes all the way through that. And then on this little pack, you also get a little bead, which is this thing. And we have to put that on as well. And the knot at the end of the treble is held in position away from that. Okay, so now we're going to add on, there's a little treble hook with this one. Now sometimes we'll use a barbless hook and we just put on a single hook on this, which is perfectly fine, but I'm just going to add this on for the benefit of the video because that's what came in the pack. All right, so this is a little Tasmanian devil. It's around 10 grams weight, which will be perfect for the job. And I'm just spinning this treble hook around my hand. Now that's awkward. You can actually wrap the line around it as well. It's the same thing, but you kind of get used to this. Then you pull it very gently. We wet it again, all right? Not too pull it tight. There we go, and we trim that again. So that's what it looks like. So now we have our line going through the rod rings. We have our antikink vane, which is like that. You see that there? Hopefully it's visible. So we have, very important now, this part. This part is going to the rod, and the swivel part is going to the lure, all right? Because the lure is going to be spinning around the place, and that will just, the swivel will spin here as well, all right? And on top of that then, the pressure on either side of this vane makes it sit in the water, and it doesn't spin. It just rides along like that, no problem. And this does all the spinning. So that helps reduce line twist. And after that then, it's just a matter of casting. So we're going to flick back the bail arm, so we're ready to rock, and that's it. So there you go. So now we're going to go casting. We'll show you how to do that.